Alright, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Randy here with RTS Mobile Gaming, bringing you an amazing video today. We are playing Lord of the Rings Rise to War, and in today's video we are covering one particular commander in general. This is the Mouth of Sauron Take 2, ladies and gentlemen. We did a spotlight video on him back in Season 1, and this is the Mouth of Sauron all growed up. Alright, so get excited. And also, in tomorrow's video, we're covering some amazing combat reports in extreme detail. We'll be covering Lurtz versus Dane, a geared Lurtz versus geared Dane. We'll be walking through that report. Everyone's excited for that. We have some amazing Saruman versus Gandalf fights here to look at as well. So get excited. We'll be covering both of those tomorrow, okay? So, in today's video, like I said, we're doing a highlight on Mouth of Sauron. And who better to use as a showcase for Mouth of Sauron than Uliari. Can't pronounce his name, but I love him a long time. He is one of my fiercest competitors over at the Run faction, and he always finds a way to get his Mouth of Sauron in front of my Witch King. And as you can see here, he definitely kills a lot of my Witch King's troops, okay? So, first off, we'll look at my Witch King. You already know the build with him, right? We've got the typical cut list for plus damage and percent damage dealt. We have the drums that give me plus damage, a little bit of healing. I've got the helmet that gives me stun immunity. This is very key. There is one new helmet that was introduced in Season 2 that gives both stun and madness immunity for the first 4 rounds, while this one gives me stun immunity for the entire fight, okay? Those helmets are very different and very powerful. The anti-madness helmet will help counter Mouth of Sauron, but if you're not running that new meta helmet, you will get hit hard by Mouth of Sauron, okay? Build-wise, it's the standard build. I'm not even going to go through it. Alchemist, heavy build, okay? You get the drift. Okay, I've got... and then against... so what had happened here is I actually ran out of taunt trolls. Even though they're shown in my lineup, I actually didn't have any taunt trolls alive at that time. So I just ran a combination of Berserkers and Alchemists. Maybe that lack of taunt trolls helped the Reapers kill my Alchemists a little bit faster. Maybe I would have done better with a few taunt trolls, but like I said, you take what you can get. Credit is due to Uliari, okay? He has a very strong Mouth of Sauron for sure. You can see here he's got very similar, almost equal gear to me. All this stuff is 5-starred here. He's got Uruk-hai Broadsword, which triggers bonus HP for his units. He's also got a little bit of double attack from Blaze. Okay, we've got a might and defense and reduced damage received superior Horberk. The only better chest than this would be an anti-burn damage chest. With the anti-burn damage chest, he might have been able to defeat me. Okay, it might have been a Witch King loss. And then we've got Bone Mask, which is going to give an amazing Hysteria buff as well as more HP. So now he has plus 6 HP to Uruk-hai and a Madness debuff. Okay. And then we have the Drums of Barad-dûr, which is going to give great defense, as well as, for some reason, he's got this plus attack and minus defense, which is actually good against an Alchemist build, since Alchemists don't care about your defense. So it's interesting to see that. Let's see how it played out. One thing to note is, out of his 3 units, he is not running any Uruk-hai, even though he has plus 6 health to his Uruk-hai. So keep that in mind, okay? And that's because only his trolls and his orcs gain bonus damage from Lieutenant of Barad-dûr, so they would not have that 25% bonus HP, okay? In addition to that, he's got Orcish Warlord, which reduces the damage his orcs receive and increases their speed. He's got Dishearten, which reduces the enemy damage by 21%, which is one of the things that makes Mouth of Sauron so strong. This reduces all of my army's damage by 21%, okay? Harbinger of Darkness, for the first 3 rounds, reduces all damage by 75%. Enfeeble, which gives me a 40% increased damage received debuff when I'm maddened. 1 point in Master of Mischief, which will be a guaranteed madness against 2 of my army units in round 3. Okay, and then he has a few extra points in Númenórean, Dark Mantle, and the Black Arts, which is an anti-heal, okay? So fairly strong composition there. He actually has a good composition for killing Alchemists here with all the heavy Reapers. He does give them plus 2 attack, as well as plus 6 HP to these guys, plus 7 HP, actually. So there you go. So strong composition, strong build, strong gear, okay? Into the report itself. Get excited! Alright. Yes. And by the way, let me know at the end if you prefer this kind of 1-fight review in less than 10 minutes versus a 2-fight review in 20 minutes. If you prefer the detailed 1-fight review a little bit better, or if you prefer the other one, please let me know in the comments. You will help me determine what videos I cover next, okay? I have some really amazing fight footage that I took from yesterday when my base almost got uprooted. We have some amazing kills right there. I've just finished editing a 10-minute compilation of Pew Pew and Murderfest, which I'll be posting, not for today's video, obviously, but for tomorrow. So get super excited about that. It was an amazing fight. Run has been great opponents, slowly defeating us this season, but good opponents overall. Of course, AOAN is better. AON for life. Blood for the blood god. All right, here we go. Round 1. So keep in mind that my units do have this massive minus 75% damage debuff. They also have an additional minus 21% damage debuff. So their total damage debuff, if it's additive, and we don't know yet if it's additive or multiplicative, we're looking at, it's either going to be 96% reduced damage dealt, or it's going to be the 21% modified again by the 75%, which would be like a 79% times 0.25, which would be a different number. So big difference there. You're looking at like a 20% damage dealt by my alchemist versus like a 6% damage dealt. So big difference, something that we need to test further and find out. Okay, anyways, on to the fight. A lot of damage reduction from that, those two abilities. Here we have the alchemist attacking 4, and I did not trigger my Orthang because I'm not wearing an Orthang here. But you can see the Berserkers attacked for next to nothing. The alchemist still did decent damage. They got a terrible damage roll, then a very good damage roll. So they still dealt 30k damage even with Mouth of Sauron's debuffs. And the other thing to note is the Mouth of Sauron actually reduces his own unit's attack. So he's going to be attacking me pretty hard. His Reapers do a lot of damage to my low defense alchemists, but they're only going to take 4,700 damage compared to my alchemist 30k damage output, okay? Here in round 2, we have a double trigger. We resisted madness in round 2 here, and I got another trigger for 36k damage. So now I've done a total of 66k damage plus or minus between my alchemist and the first 2 rounds. Very effective Mouth of Sauron negating my damage, okay? Now in round 3, you're going to see my alchemist and everybody else get feared, probably, right? I'm only running 2 units. Here's the Master of Mischief. My units are now maddened. They have reduced defense. Let's see how that played out. Wow! Look at this. How interesting is this? My madness received from Mouth of Sauron's Hysteria helmet countered and actually interrupted and got in the way. How interesting is that? It got in the way of Mouth of Sauron's actual madness from Master of Mischief. So now my alchemists just lost their madness. They're no longer maddened. They should be maddened for 2 rounds. They're no longer maddened. How insane is that? That's crazy. That's good to know. So note to all you folks out there running Mouth of Sauron or Grima or anybody else that does that that Master of Mischief round 3 madness, your Hysteria helmet is going to get in the way. How amazing. It probably affects Sauron too. That is so interesting. So now my alchemists are still punching him in the face. Punchy, 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 pew, pew, pew. Here comes round 4. The damage handcuffs are off, okay? Oh, let's look at the Reaper damage though. So you can see the Reapers are hitting me. They're still doing reduced damage in round 3 by 75%. Okay. Now we're in round 4. Round 4, the handcuffs are off. Everybody should be doing full damage. I'm just trying to make sense of why the Reapers didn't kill anything. Oh, the Reapers lost a lot of their units when my alchemist attacked. I was like, why is the Reapers damage almost the same? So they dealt 4,800 damage in round 3, and then in round 4 they only dealt 4,400 damage, but that's because I killed half of them. So their damage did increase, they just all died. Okay, so, okay. I'm just so surprised. Here's the anti-heal from Mouth of Sauron's Black Arts. Here's another 30k damage from the alchemists. Okay, here's round 5. The Reapers get their big damage boost, plus 70%. Okay, very nice here, very nice. Let's see what that looks like. There's only there's only 2 Reapers alive. Let's see how much damage they deal. Oh, they attack. Look at that. Each Reaper dealt 8 damage. Oh my goodness. They actually killed an alchemist. That's so funny. All right, the Reapers came in hot and heavy. They dealt 16 damage. Oh my gosh. Oh. It's such an interesting build. And unfortunately, Hysteria triggered on my Berserkers for round 5. So my Berserkers resisted the madness from the Hysteria helmet. Really, what he needed to happen is the Alchemists get triggered by madness. The Alchemist's self-attack. Him having a burn damage, anti-burn damage chest. I think of those, if that one RNG thing worked in his favor, and he had a little bit better chest piece on, he could have come away with the win. Now, I haven't, in all of my fights, I haven't actually lost to a Mouth of Sauron with the Witch King yet. I've gotten pretty close. I think Dead or Baller has a pretty strong Mouth of Sauron that they always engage me with. And I think that I defeated them, but I came within like, I maybe had like 800 alchemists left at the end of the fight. Like it was a bloodbath. It was pretty brutal. I wish I had that report to review with you. That was an amazing report. I should have covered it then. I'm covering it now due to multiple requests in my last video, so thank you for requesting it. I love you all a long time. Here's my alchemist now getting afflicted by madness in round 6 and killing my Berserkers. So, alright, I mean, that's the fight. It was a draw, right? It was a draw. It was a decent draw. I think if I had better units with the taunt trolls, I would have done better. I think if he had a better chest piece with burn damage resistance, he would have done better. If his RNG had triggered a little bit more effectively against my alchemists, if the Hysteria from Bone Mask hadn't triggered and countered his madness from the Master of Mischief in round 3, which that is so insane how that even happened. That is so crazy. I don't even know how that happened. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. If those things hadn't happened, this could have been a very different fight. So overall, good showing from both armies. I love it long time. Whale Witch King versus Whale Mouth of Sauron. GG. Like and sub. Love you long time. Randy out.